So Rochdale 13 with Alan Kilshaw, ahead of Saturday's game against Batley Bulldogs. It's the first time in a while that we've been speaking after a win. How's it been in the week after that obviously good win against Shrewsbury Rams?
Yeah, look, the last couple of performances we've been improving, and obviously the wind's lifted the place, and there's a lot of young lads in there. You know, as we know, as we said on the day, I think the average age was 23, and a couple of 19-year-olds in there as well. So obviously they were very excited on Tuesday still from that result. A little bit flat on the training field, but I think that was, you know, to be expected. It was a tough game. Took a lot out of him, you know, physically and mentally. But we trained really well Thursday night, and you know, we're ready to go again for Saturday's game. Yeah.
And it's been a busy week off the field. Made a couple of signings. Just want to touch on them first. Are you happy to get them over the line?
Yeah, Tyler's been outstanding, hasn't he, in the last couple of games, and you know, someone we identified pretty early that we needed to bring in another half-back, and he's come in and done really well. And there's competition there where, you know, Pal should be back in a couple of weeks, and you know, Morgan's available. You know, for us at different stages of the season as well, and he can play half-back, so it just means people need to be performing in them positions, and he's done well, and I think he can, you know, develop even further, and we'll see even more of him once he gets settled with the side and has a settled edge to play with. And obviously the other signings, you know, Jordan coming from Halifax, who's their reserves player of the year last year, and just someone who needs an opportunity, and that's what we're all about. You know, giving young lads an opportunity, and you know, he's another 21-year-old, and you know, he slotted in last night well in training, and I think he'll produce on the weekend.
And obviously the news has broke that Mark Wynne will be stepping down as chairman. You've worked with him closely over the last couple of years. Have you got anything to say on that?
Oh, look, anything I can say won't be enough. You know, someone who's given 10 years as a volunteer, you know, first and foremost to Rugby League Club, you know, deserves huge recognition. There's highs and lows in there, but I'm sure he's had more highs than lows. And obviously, you know, the evening before we played Toulouse, we had a team meeting, and he showed a lot of emotion before that game. We went round and spoke to all the players of what it would mean to the players to win the game, and you know, Mark spoke about how much it would be for him, and you know, he got quite emotional before then, and it really showed the players, you know, before the game what it means to him, and what it means to him to be chairman, and you know, that'll always stand out for me, and to go and get the win the next day was you know, something that, you know, won't be able to take away from Mark being the chairman of the club, and he leaves the club in good hands, and it's exciting. I think there's, you know, potentially a whole new board and chairman coming in, and hopefully we can lift the club to the next level.
And now on to the Batley game at the weekend. Obviously it's a rescheduled fixture, which means you'll play them back to back. Do you think that'll give you a bit of an advantage? You'll go into the second game obviously knowing a lot more about how they play and stuff.
Yeah, look, probably won't have to do as much preview next week. They're a different beast at home, and you know, it's they've got players out missing at the moment, so have we. So you know, there might be different teams that play on these consecutive weekends. It felt a little bit funny that we played Batley and Swindon, but it's just the cards have been dealt, and you know, we'll just take it this week, and then, you know, like I say, we'll see how we go and prepare for the week after as well. We'll just take it as normal, but like you say, you condition to who you're going to play, and you know, you're playing them you know, the week after, so we might not have to do as much preview and as much prep next week as we've done this week on the opposition, and we can focus a little bit more on ourselves.
And just a word on Matt Diskin. He's been quoted in the press as saying that games at Rochdale are grubby affairs. Have you got any comments to make on that?
Well, I'd probably say that the Rochdale Batley games have been grubby affairs because of the way Batley play the game, but if you look at our discipline record this season, it's been outstanding. We've had one player sin bin, we've had one player banned off the back of that sin binning, we've won the majority of the penalty count, so you know, there's no grubbiness or dirtiness coming from Rochdale, especially this season. You know, and I think if you look back on the games in the past, there's been a little bit of bite in there, but again, that's the way that they play the game, and I think we've shown in the past that we won't be bullied by them, and even though we've got a young team out tomorrow, we'll have the same mindset that we'll go there, we'll go out and we won't be bullied.
And just a word on Lewis Galbraith, obviously facing his former club for the first time. Are you looking forward to being reunited with him, or are you a bit worried?
Oh look, certainly our penalty counts have gone down since Trigger's left, but you know, he's a quality player for us. You know, he played in that final that I've mentioned previously. He played in that promotion season. You know, and he had a good season last year, and you know, it's regrettable that he had to leave in the circumstances that he left, and you know, it was probably a unique time for us, and you know, maybe we could have handled it a little bit better, but there was obviously a lot of panic around and a lot of frustration, and you know, there's no bad sentiments or bad blood on our part for the way he left. You know, we've been following him and his progress, and he's been playing well for them, and he is a threat. You know, they've got a number of threats across the park, and he's slotted in well to that team. And I'm not too sure about his latest hairstyle, but you know, he'll be welcome back, and sure after the game we'll catch up for a drink after the game. Yeah.
And just on to team news, are you expecting any of the injured lads back this week?
We get a couple back, and we lost a couple. Gaz Medulla's fracturing his hand, so could be a couple of weeks. Lewis Hatton was knocked out, so he won't play. But Tyara, Massam, Dave Allen are all a good chance of playing. So, like I say, we lose a couple, get a couple back, but that'll be it this week. Lewis Palfrey's been to see a specialist this week, and we're looking at 2 weeks for him. Both the Adamstons won't make this week, and possibly not next week either. But listen, I'm happy with those guys, that young team, and we didn't want to change the team much around this week. You know, the changes will be forced upon us, and they're playing with no fear and no pressure, and you know, training's been really good, and I'm sure we'll come with a performance tomorrow afternoon.